Despite what you may have thought clicking this video, I'm not going to talk about voting methods and results validation or any of that. I'm just going to reminisce. It was around 2017. I was in the last stretch of a way too long college journey and just needed something to distract me from mitosis and mitochondria, the powerhouse of the... Oh, okay, yeah, you get it. I started really watching anime a year prior on a goated season that featured ReZero, Flying Witch, and High School Fleet, and I was coming off of the high of discovering something new. Being a non-stereotypical Asian, math was never my strong suit, and still isn't. I actually have to think about what 6 times 7 is. 42. But conversely, I did really well in literature and composition. I don't know, partly because it's just easier to BS your way through an essay, but I also just loved putting words together and trying to distill hard-to-handle thoughts into succinct words on a page. I dipped my toes into writing about anime, with minor recommendation posts on Real Life and Scorching Ping Pong Girls on R-Anime. And those got a lot of attention. I eventually wrote a post that won a contest, and then a huge comment on Shaw King's Hunter x Hunter rewatch that would become my first real video. Right when I was getting in the swing of things, I noticed a post on the subreddit for juror applications. At first I was like, jury? Whose guilt are we deciding? And then I clicked into the application and it was just a bunch of writing prompts. So you know, a hammer hammers, and I wrote the application for the sake of writing the application. I probably forgot about it for a few months and put out the first couple of videos on my channel. Then, one random day, I get a private message from AddieMG, R-Anime Awards 2017 board member, that I had been selected. I made it into exactly 2 categories, voice acting and slice of life. And little did I know how much my life would change. Here's some brief background for me as a person. I'm a weird mix of outgoing combined with debilitating social anxiety. I can talk with you online all you want, I'm well liked at work, but I'm rarely 100% myself or comfortable in public. There was one time I was going to a Reddit meetup to try and make some new friends, but I just couldn't bring myself to sit at the big table reserved for the meetup. I sat alone at a small table to the side, just weirdly glancing every now and then, frozen in place until I realized that I was never going to join them, and drove home. With this tendency in mind, well, I was nervous. Here were these people that I had never met, and I was supposed to be essentially locked in a room with them for months arguing about anime when I just started watching the damn thing. But I soon found that I had nothing to worry about. The Slice of Life jury became fast friends. We bonded over watching all of the same stuff, and soon I found myself waking up just to check Discord and read through every single message I had missed since I last checked, even if it was 500 of them. We developed plenty of in-jokes, like for some reason for our final write-ups, we included references to milk in each one. Oh, that was actually part of a larger awards in-joke where we alleged someone must have spilt milk all over Violet Evergarden. Don't get me wrong, there was plenty of contention. But what I never knew is just how invigorating it was to debate something up even from 5th to 4th place. The winners were whatever, even though they get the most attention. At one point, it came down to Urara Meirocho versus my personal favorite, Konohana Kitan. And I wrote these huge, impassioned rants about why Konohana Kitan was so good, and why Urara Meirocho was so mid. It's just about girls flashing their bellies. But you know what the best part is? I didn't get my way. Konohana Kitan is proudly 4th, under Urara, and above Dragon Maid, base take. Fellow jury member Furcole explained to me what the show meant to them, about all the stuff that I just didn't see. Turns out it's not just about showing bellies, who would have thought? That was the beauty of being a jury member for me, my Copernican turn. I had never really thought about these shows other than a, huh, that's cool, muttered under my breath. This was the first time I had to push back against people, defend myself, and jump to support others. It was like a wheel, once stagnant, got a gentle push and started to turn. And soon I found myself writing down all of these random ideas like a compulsion. Ideas that became videos spawned out of just a few words or sentences. You know, parts of neurons are covered in something called a myelin sheath. It acts as a form of insulation, but not because those parts need extra protection. Since our nerves work based on electrical impulses, having a little bit of resistance increases the speed at which they operate. In fact, some diseases like multiple sclerosis attack the myelin sheath and lead to numerous problems like muscle dystrophy, ataxia, and aphasia. Think about a hose. If you just let it stream out, it's pretty weak. But if you add some restriction, pressure will build and the water will gush out. Joining the awards, it was like funneling all of the excitement I had towards anime towards one definitive goal, giving some direction so it didn't just fizzle out. That might be why it's my longest running hobby. There's something so electrifying about being part of a huge group of people doing so much work, but also feeling that release and wave of relief come results day. I think that's what led to me pushing for a live stream, to have a clear symbol to represent the months of work, passion, and frustration. And all that time, the awards continued to be the myelin sheath, the little bit of pressure on the hose that pushed me out of my comfort zone. I mean, I'd never streamed before. I'd never even really organized anything before. But I learned. In that first livestream, right after I hit play, you can hear the absolute panic in my voice as it cracks during the introduction.
Hello and welcome to the 2018 Our Anime Awards. We've got a great show planned.
But I made it through. All 4 hours of it. Even if every intermission I would just sit there and breathe heavily. And it's a memory I wouldn't give up for the world. But most importantly, what the awards ultimately accomplished was monumental. It gave me friends. At this point, I've been involved in some way for over 7 years. A lot of real-life friendships have come and gone, and yet I still talk to those same people from the Slice of Life jury. Sure, some of them have moved on, that's life, but I'm grateful to have this shared passion that puts me into contact with like-minded and not so like-minded individuals. At a moment's notice, I can ask for an opinion and get 20. If I'm going through a hard day or need some guidance, I have people to turn to. That's priceless. I've sent tens of thousands of messages, and I've met a great deal in person. Through the awards, I got to connect with wonderful human beings like Shocking, Tay, Moz, Bex, and Panic. Awards kept me close to the sub to the point where I felt like I could give back as a moderator. We've been able to tell countless industry professionals what their work means to us, and they actually write us back. I've stayed in touch with and been exposed to countless fellow anime content creators, from Dr. Rose Bridges to Replay Value, and it almost works like a metronome, pulling me back into contact just as I find myself drifting away. That's why I'm even uploading again. I look back on all this, and I can't help but feel like I've finally been able to leave that little side table and take a seat at the big one. So yeah, the awards have a lot of things going for them. But I don't love them just because I think they're the best system we have available to adequately judge any given anime coming out in the past year. Or because they're the one award show that shows their work, publishing detailed justification for each entry. It's not that the livestream is my baby that I willed into existence and then recruited the help of dozens of friends throughout the years to maintain. They're not even my favorite because by far, compared to any other award show, I can say without question that these have the most impassioned, determined, obsessive, almost to a fault individuals who just want to put on a good show. No, I love them because it gave me a home on the internet. I love them because I honestly feel like I found a weird little family, eccentric aunts and uncles and all. And I love them because they make me want to do things that scare me. See y'all next award season. Thanks for watching. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, originally as promotion for the awards, but I never really got a chance. Until now. Speaking of, the awards for 2023 just finished. It was a lot of fun, and I'll link the stream in the description. I told Replay Value I'd make a video if he made one, because I thought he was still on hiatus. Little did I know, he made one just like a week ago. Also, I don't count this as a quote-unquote real video, so look forward to another one sometime soon. If you want to support me further, well, I have a Patreon, but it's been a couple of years, so I have to check in on it. Liking and commenting this video and my others works for now. And of course, if anything I said was wrong, I'm sorry. I must have stuttered.